Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, the Black Lives Matter activist movement has been truly destructive, not just because the organization is pretty much at this point a proven fraud that embezzled millions of dollars from good faith donors, but in the sense that they have created so much division, so much racial hatred through these bogus narratives, and probably worst of all, they've created an open door for people to grift, an open door for people who are hungry for social media clout to use such an emotional, sensitive topic like race relations to their own personal benefit. And of course, there's a lot of self-interested sociopaths in this world, regardless of what continent or country you're in, regardless of your gender, regardless of your race, they're pretty much everywhere, and they are walking through that door of opportunity without hesitation. We've covered examples of this before. Of course, the Juicy Smollett version is a great example. Individual traffic stops where the guilty party instantly tries to racialize their encounter with white police officers to their benefit, and now we have it during a college graduation, weirdly enough, with an absolutely unhinged individual willing to cause racial animus, discord, mayhem for what seems to be social media TikTok clout. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. Another instance of your brain on BLM. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so we have this situation that's gone extremely viral. Let's give some context quickly, a little bit of a backstory. During a graduation ceremony, students were lined up, queued towards a faculty member holding a microphone, where they were told that they could announce their name. Then this happened.
My name is Kadijata Diallo, and I'm graduating today. I don't like how you snatched the mic out of my hand, so today is gonna be all about me.
Oh, drops the mic. Congratulations!
Then the viral stunt was followed with an explanation from the individual on TikTok.
Here's my story time. Basically, what happened was, I was walking on and we had to announce our names and say our name before we get on the stage. So I was saying my name and she literally, my name is long. My name, obviously, I have like 3 syllables in my name. I'm not gonna say exactly my name right now, but okay, just so you get a point. So I didn't even finish getting to say my name. And then the people that went before me and everything, they all got to say their name, their major, and even extras. And me and another girl noticed that she was pulling the mic down super fast for some black people. I don't want to be that person, but that was the tea. So, I mean, I just couldn't let that happen, because I just feel like I worked so hard to graduate and went through so much to graduate that I just felt like I had to reclaim my moment. I'm sorry, like, I'm not a problematic person. I don't want to ruin no one's day. I don't want to violate anybody, but that's what she did. She didn't even let me finish speaking. She put the mic down, cut me off, and that was the only time I was able to speak. So I just feel like that wasn't right.
This woman viciously ripped the mic out of the faculty member's hands, claimed that her moment was taken away from her, that she was some sort of a victim, then went on to TikTok to claim that the faculty member was discriminating against students based on their race, not allowing them to say their name. A racist university, not giving black students the time to cherish their moment at graduation. And of course, like usual, all the typical Al Sharpton types all over YouTube and Twitter promoted this video and push this narrative. Oh, how terrible. Once again, another example of systemic oppression or something. I don't know. However, most people who've kind of gone through this rodeo a couple times had some questions whether the narrative being pushed was actually representative of what really happened. And womp womp womp, as expected, this student, to literally nobody with 2 brain cells' surprise, lied about the whole thing. Here is another student who, by the way, happens to also be a woman of color, clarifying the situation.
Basically, let him furthest from the truth. Graduation went like this. I was in the graduation. I graduated with my graduation. Basically, there was 2 sections, section A and section B. And within those 2 sections, there was two long lines. And we were told to say our names when we approached the lady in the video, to say our names within the mic. But she didn't know any of our names to know whether or not it was long, short, how many siblings, XYZ. She didn't know. To hold it a certain way, how long, none of that. So basically, there was people who did say other things extra other than their name. So I don't see where this, because we're black and all this other things that's coming into play. I also believe that she did that because it was a little white old lady. If it wasn't anybody else, I don't believe she would have done that. She would have took her L and would have walked. If that was the case, if that really happened. Also, the mic was never handed to us for it to get snatched. The lady was going back and forth to each line, because remember there was 2 lines with with a person, and going back and forth, going to each person like this, to say their names. So it wasn't no pause for somebody to hold a mic to say their name, to take it back or anything. So she wanted her moment, she got her moment. That's what she was looking for, a moment.
So it turns out that the entire thing was a lie, and it was nothing but narcissistic, selfish, outlandish, unhinged behavior. No real surprise there, but of course, in today's day and age, people actually buy this stuff because they've been convinced by the narratives that this stuff is happening all the time. Just constant, overt, open discrimination of people of color that's systemic and rife in every single institution. Give me a break. This is a sensitive narrative that is being abused. And it's extra frustrating because it's the goodwill of people that's being abused. A lot of people are just unaware, maybe uninformed. They don't know. They're not digging deep enough, and they're taking other people for their word on their experience. The marginalized group experience, whatever group it is. Well, I'm not part of that group. I experience white privilege, so who am I to question? And that good faith sort of benefit of the doubt that's being given is being taken advantage of by people who are clearly self-interested, by narcissists, by sociopaths who view it as a claim to fame. If I pretend as if I face some sort of discriminatory action and make a big thing out of it, a spectacle, well then maybe I could be the next social justice crusader on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, what have you. It's the Patrice Ken Coolers grift. That's exactly what it is. It started with Al Sharpton and it's evolved into this Goliath that's so clearly destructive. To take advantage of something so sensitive, I mean, I say this all the time in my videos, is truly one of the most awful things that I could think of culturally. And it's causing so many problems across society. And some people view it as a get out of jail free card. You're in a situation, well, simply claim that you face discrimination, claim racism, and poof, you got a monopoly get out of jail free card. Not exactly how it works in the real world, but that's kind of how people perceive it. That's what happens with these narratives. It's a victimhood narrative. Anything that happens to me is happening to me because of the color of my skin. But in this case, the reality was there were clear rules, and those rules obviously apply to everyone, that you are to say your name, we have to get through the proceedings, that's it, say your name in the microphone and move on. But this individual, extremely entitled individual, wanted to go on and have her moment be the center of attention, and I don't know, go on about Jamaica or something.
Amy Gomez, Angelica Kiara Villar, Gina Agulelo, Amoya Doily, Alessandra Robertson, Janelle Wellington. Big up Jamaica! Woo!
And when the mic was removed away from her face, she blew up, and her first reaction was to accuse this most likely very nice, innocent woman of racism. I can't think of very many things that are as despicable as that. You know, the possible ramifications. This poor older woman simply working at a college, working possibly as a professor, not exactly sure, gets branded with the racist label to millions of people online, potentially jeopardizing her job, her reputation, and possibly even her safety. And the young woman doesn't even care, because the whole world revolves around her. It's me, me, me. And most importantly, because this type of behavior has been normalized. It's been totally normalized. You know, look at Jussie Smollett. He belongs in federal prison. I don't care what anybody says. What he did was not only illegal, but so reprehensible and morally wrong, so dangerous and destructive, and he basically got a slap on the wrist. And they tried dropping the charges multiple times, but obviously that didn't end up working. There's no actual repercussions for these types of actions. For race hoaxes and hate hoaxes, false accusations of discrimination and racism. There needs to be repercussions for these types of actions. If it's as egregious as the Jussie Smollett situation, serious legal action should be taken. If not, defamation and libel, I believe, certainly applies. But instead, we see none of it. This type of thing is normalized. We cover these kinds of situations on a near monthly basis. It happens endlessly, over and over again, and for the most part, there's no repercussions. In fact, quite the opposite. Some of these people people are hailed as heroes. Even Jussie Smollett, in some cases, people will argue that his actions were justified, even if he was lying because he brought attention to an important situation. That isn't happening at all, and that's totally fabricated in the minds of your average BLM activist. It is all so completely absurd, and more importantly, it's evil, it's self-serving, and it ought to be illegal, at least in the most extreme of cases. Anyways, not much I can say that isn't already in your minds. Just gonna repeat what I always say, the BLM grift is unhinged and culturally destructive. Yet again, another example. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. You know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.